driving through the country to visit their family. One day, late at night, they were on a lonely country road. That's when a powerful storm broke, and their car tire burst. They had to leave the vehicle to find help, but there was nothing, and no one around. Sometime later, they came across an old and spooky mansion that seemed abandoned, but the guys decided to try and see if anyone lived there and could help them. They arrived at the mansion gate. On a metal address plaque, it was written, "The House of Riddles." Gemma and Andy got suspicious, but they desperately needed shelter from the storm and some help with their car. So they decided to enter. But the gate was locked. There was a digital security keypad on it and nothing else. Suddenly, they heard a sound coming from the gate intercom. A voice said,
"The answer to this riddle of mine is the password you need to unlock the gate. I sleep by day and fly at night, but I have no feathers to aid my flight. What am I?"
"That's a bat." When the guys arrived at the door, they saw there was something engraved on it. "Stop right there, wanderer. Don't knock on the door just yet. For if you knock more or fewer times than you should, that you're gonna regret. Here's your second riddle. I am an odd number, but I become even if you take away a letter. What am I?" Gemma and Andy realized that the number equaled the number of times they had to knock on the door for it to open. Can you help them figure out the correct number? The answer is 7, so they had to knock on the door 7 times. A scary old butler opened the door and let the guys in. The door suddenly closed behind their backs and then just vanished into thin air. There were no doors in the room they had entered. The butler said, "Welcome, mortals, to your doom. To make it out of this house, you have to solve every riddle in every room. If you can't, you'll stay in this place forever. Here's your riddle for this room. Which bride is marrying this groom?" If they managed to figure out the answer, a door would appear. If they could not, well, too bad. Do you see the shadows behind them? The third bride's shadow is holding hands with the groom's shadow. They're in love, so she must be his chosen one. After they answered the riddle correctly, a door appeared in front of them. They got into the next room, which was a library. 3 books fell from a bookcase in front of their feet. Then they heard the butler's voice echoing, "You have to open one of these books, but choose wisely, because whatever creature the book mentions, it will appear here." If Gemma and Andy opened the first book, a venomous basilisk would come out. If they opened the second book, a giant piranha monster with razor-sharp teeth would appear in the library. If they opened the third book, a fire-breathing dragon would charge at them. Which book should they choose? Since the giant piranha is a water creature, it can't survive on land, so the guys should choose the second book. The library door opened, and they walked into the next room. It turned out to be a dining room. A large mirror covered one of its walls. Yet, the reflection of the room in the mirror had some differences from the real room. Can you spot them? The reflection of the deer statue in the mirror has more antlers. In the reflection, you can see someone hiding behind the curtains. But there's no one besides Gemma and Andy in the room. And lastly, in the mirror, one of the plates on the table is different from the others. But in the real dining room, all the plates are the same. Gemma and Andy felt very hungry. Thankfully, the next door that opened led them to the kitchen. There were 3 different chefs inside. The first chef was a zombie, the second one was a vampire, and the third chef was human. Each of them was holding a pie in their hands, but only one pie was safe to eat. Which one? Do you see the bugs coming out of the zombie chef's pie? Yikes! The pie that the human chef is holding is glowing in a weird way. Looks dangerous to me. So they should choose the vampire chef's pie, because that's not blood, that's cherry sauce on top. If it was blood, the vampire would have already eaten that. After they answered the riddle, 2 doors appeared in front of them. One of them had Gemma's name on it, and the other had Andy's. The butler sneaked behind the guys and pushed Gemma through the Gemma door, and Andy through the Andy door. Gemma fell down a pit and found herself in a mysterious garden. She accidentally woke a garden gnome who had been sleeping. He got very angry with her, and still, he agreed to let Gemma go if she answered his question correctly. He showed Gemma 3 tiny mushroom houses and asked which one was his home. Can you figure it out? Do you see the flower on the gnome's hat? The door handle of the second mushroom house handle is the same flower, so that must be his home. Andy, on the other hand, fell into a magical dungeon. The dungeon guard was an ogre, and he looked very pleased to finally have a prisoner. Yet he agreed to let Andy go if the guy chose the correct magical portal to escape. 2 magical portals appeared in front of him. Each of them led to a room. Andy had to stay inside the room of his choice for 5 minutes. The first room was full of poisonous gas that would knock him out in 4 minutes, and the second room was filled with water. If Andy opted for this room, he would have to be chained to the floor with the water rising really fast. In which room can the guy survive? Andy should choose the first room. He should take a breath and try not to breathe for a minute. After that, he'll have to wait for 4 minutes for the door to open, and then he can escape. Both Gemma and Andy were magically transported to the hallway after having answered their riddles correctly. They were happy to be together again. At the end of the hallway, there was a door, and in front of the door, a witch stood. She placed 3 long magic wands on the table in front of her and said,
You do not need to do anything to one of these wands. One you must break in half, and one needs to be even shorter than that half.
The witch added that they could only answer once, and if their answer was wrong, she wouldn't open the door. So, can you tell which wand should be the longest, which one they need to break into half, and which one needs to be the shortest? Do you see those spiders hanging from the ceiling? Since the door is shaped like a spider, they must be giving Gemma and Andy a hint. The silk thread that the first spider is hanging on is the shortest, so the first wand needs to be the shortest. The silk thread that the second spider is hanging on is the longest, which means that the second wand needs to remain as it is. And the silk thread that the third spider is hanging on is of a medium length, which means that the guys need to break the third wand in half. The witch opened the door and Gemma and Andy entered a bedroom. 3 spirits were floating inside. Each of them claimed to be the owner of the mansion. Gemma knew only one of them was telling the truth. Who is it? The spirit of the elderly lady is telling the truth. Why? Let's rewind a bit. Did you notice the portraits hanging on the walls in the hallway? There's a portrait of this very lady. That can only mean she used to be one of the owners of the mansion. The next stop was a living room. When they walked in, Andy saw something weird. What was it? A face appears and disappears in the fireplace. The guys entered a study next. What's so weird here? The fingers of this medieval knight's armor are tapping on the sword. The next room was a guest bedroom. What's weird here? The crystal ball is showing someone trapped in the basement. Gemma and Andy decided to take a look at the basement in case someone really needed help. Yet they had to crack another riddle to enter. There was a password panel, and they needed to type in 7 digits to unlock the door. They had no idea what the passcode could be. Luckily, there was a note on the wall, and this word was written on it. What does it even mean? Turn the note upside down. What do you see now? The letters look like numbers, right? So the passcode is 1837837. There were 3 people in the basement who claimed to be trapped there, but only one of them was telling the truth. Who is that? Do you see the stitches on the elbows of this lady? She's a creepy rag doll, so she's lying. And this man has claws instead of fingers. He must be a shapeshifter or something. Then it must be this guy who's telling the truth, so Gemma and Andy took him with them. After the guys answered every riddle in every room correctly, the butler appeared again. "Thank you, travelers. Now you're free to go, but this you must know. All of us in this house are cursed. Answer this one last riddle for the curse to be reversed. Once we are finally free, we'll help you with your car too. You'll see. There are 9 people in front of you. One of them is a monster who cursed us. Tell us who." This guy has 2 horns that are hiding in his hair. He is not a human. He's a monster. Have you ever wondered which fantasy creature is mostly linked to your personality? This quiz will spill the tea. Pick your answers and don't forget to count your score. The results will be waiting for you at the end of the video. Finally, your dreams come true. You got an invitation letter from a secret magic academy. Which design would you prefer? Option A adds 3 points to your score. B costs 2. Answer C is worth 1 point. D brings you 4 points. And option E costs 0 points. You've arrived at the academy. Time to choose your room. Option A brings you 1 point. B is worth 2 points. C brings you 0 points. Option D adds 4 points to your score. And E brings you 3 points. Which of your senses do you most rely on? Eyesight is worth 4 points. If you choose hearing, add 2 points to your score. Scent brings you 3 points. Touch is worth 0 points. And taste brings you 1 point. With whom would you rather pick as your roommate? A brings 3 points to your score. Answer B costs 1 point. C brings you 2 points. If you chose D, add 4 points to your basket. And E costs 0. Which combination seems more attractive to you? Earth plus fire brings you 4 points. Air plus water adds 1 point to your score. If you picked fire and water, grab 3 points. Water and earth cost 0. And the fire plus air combination brings you 2 points. The lessons begin. Time to choose your first school crush. Who would you rather fall in love with? Option A costs 0. B brings you 3 points. C costs 4 points. D brings you 2 points. And E is worth 1 point. Let's go to the school canteen. What would you like for lunch? A chocolate bar with coffee brings you 4 points. If you picked cherry pie, add 1 point to your score. Sandwiches cost 0 points. A burger with fries brings you 2 points. And if you choose the sushi set, grab 3 points. Suddenly, your crush offers to go for a walk. Where would you like to go? Option A adds 1 point to your score. B costs 3 points. Answer C is worth 4 points. D brings you 2 points. And option E costs 0 points. During your walk, you see a flower. Which one? Orchid costs 3 points. If you picked lilies, grab 1 point. Daisy brings you 2 points. Rose costs 4 points. And Peon adds 0 points to your score. Your teacher offers you 5 out-of-school activities. What would you rather choose? Choir brings you 3 points. Pottery costs 0. Dragon riding brings you 2 points. Drama club is worth 1 point. And fencing adds 4 points to your score. What's your weakness? If you picked arrogance, take 1 point. Anger brings you 2 points. Laziness is worth 0. Lust is worth 3 points. And cynicism is worth 4 points. Your first week at the Magic Academy is over. What would you like to do on the weekend? Hide from everyone and meditate. Just stay in my room and chill. Go on a date, obviously. Gather my new friends and watch movies. Hiking in the woods. A brings you 4 points. B costs 0 points. Answer C costs 3 points. D brings you 1 point. If you chose E, add 2 points to your basket. The school bully pulls a prank on you. How would you react? Just give me 5 minutes and he'll be my bestie. I'll just run to my room and cry. What bully? I'm the main bully here. Revenge is a dish better served cold. I'll figure out his weakness and use it against him. A costs 3 points. Answer B is worth 0. C is worth 2 points. D brings you 1 point. And E adds 4 points to your score. What magic discipline is likely to be your favorite? Option A costs 4 points. B brings you 3 points. C costs 2 points. D brings you 0 points. And E adds 1 point to your score. Which magic tool attracts you the most? Option A adds 2 points to your score. B costs 4 points. Answer C is worth 3 points. D brings you 1 point. And option E costs 0 points. You need to choose one of these 5 magical animals as your faculty mascot. Whom would you prefer? If you pick the serpent, take 1 point. The phoenix brings you 4 points. The unicorn is worth 2 points. The mermaid costs 3 points. And the dragon brings you 0 points. The Academy will soon host a masquerade ball. Which mask will you choose to wear? Venetian Classic brings you 3 points. The animal mask is worth 2 points. This creepy doctor mask is worth 1 point. Sad clown mask costs 0. And if you chose this cyberpunk option, add 4 points to your score. You enter a secret room by accident and face a magical mirror that reflects the dark side of one's soul. Which reflection looks like your inner bad guy? Option A is worth 0 points. B costs 3 points. And option C costs 4 points. Answer D is worth 1 point. E brings you 0 points. You enter the next room and see a mirror that reflects your biggest dream. Which one looks like yours? Option A adds 2 points to your score. B costs 3 points. Answer C is worth 1 point. D brings you 0 points. And option E costs 4 points. Ready for the results? Make sure to calculate your score correctly, and let's go! Congratulations! You have extraordinary mental abilities. You can read people like books. It's almost impossible to deceive you. That's why other people treat you with respect and admiration. Although your talent can make you a little cynical, don't rush to turn to the dark side. It's good to know everything, but leaving the door open to miracles is even better. People might surprise you in good ways too. If you got 45 to 60 points, ooh la la, you're a siren, a mysterious sea creature which can charm everyone with its singing. Your bright and sweet vibe can chase away all despair. People can't help but fall in love with you at first sight. That's why you shouldn't have problems with making friends or succeeding in your career. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility. You're blessed with the gift of a siren song to inspire others, not to manipulate them. You have a dual personality, just like a werewolf. On the one hand, you're a warm-hearted and charismatic person with a great sense of humor. But on the other hand, you can get really harsh if someone violates your boundaries or offends your family. Passion is your profession. You do things with genuine dedication, which helps you succeed in life. People perceive you as either a great, loving friend or as a dangerous enemy. You can easily be the soul of your tribe if you learn to control your instincts and show your teeth only when necessary. Vampires make the greatest leaders. Unlike most people, you realize the real worth of life force and time. This talent allows you to guide others towards higher productivity and joy. Your intuition always tells which project will flourish and which one will only drain your energy. That's why you act carefully and precisely like a surgeon. Friends might call you unpredictable and gloomy, but don't worry. They're in love with your sophisticated taste and independent personality. If your score is between 0 to 15 points, your mind is probably super peaceful and stable. You might take your time to make a decision, but when it's made, it's carved in stone. So if you ever feel stuck in life, just try new things and embrace the unknown. When it comes to group work, you're the person who makes things happen. That's why people see you as a loyal and trustworthy friend who's always there to support them and give wise advice. By the way, you can make a great principal of the Magic Academy. Think about it.
That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.